take a nice tall seat on your blankets or mats or whatever you are seated on, and let your hands rest on your legs. You want to make sure the elbows are right below shoulders, and our shoulders are soft and down away from the ears. Lift the top of your head toward the ceiling so you create a lot of space in your neck and your spine, and then close your eyes. Let your eyes just rest soft behind the lids as you begin to drop in, coming back to you, coming back to your practice, coming back to your yoga mat. With our eyes closed, we're able to close out the world around us. This gives us a chance to really focus on what we feel like. Yoga teaches self-awareness. And there's so many distractions when our eyes are open. So eyes closed, that really helps us begin to move internally, notice and feel what we feel. So being seated this way may be a bit uncomfortable if you haven't done this in a long time. Some folks have said to me, I haven't been on the floor in about 30 years. I don't know if I can get back up. So if that's you, I'll help you out. And so we sit on the floor, we sit on our yoga mats, we sit on our blankets, and we let the hips get heavy as they soften down into that surface. Again, relax your shoulders. Let the shoulders get heavy as they slide down away from your ears. Let your hands rest lightly on your legs. And notice where you feel any places that are tight or sore. Notice your energy. Is it flowing this morning? Do you feel energized or not? Notice your insides. How does your heart beat? And at first you might not notice anything at all, but the longer we sit, the more you begin to notice those little tiny spaces that might become aggravated or maybe begin to resist you as you sit here. So don't make any adjustments, just notice. Maybe your hip flexors, maybe your lower back. We won't stay here very long, so try to hang with it. And begin now to focus on your breath. Move your attention away from those spaces and come into breath. And observe your body as it breathes. Just notice what it feels like when you breathe. Whether you're using your nose or your mouth, notice how the breath feels when it comes in your body. Cool, warm. Notice how it feels as it brushes against the back of your throat. Can you feel your chest rise and your ribs expand? Do you notice that your belly expands as you inhale? Just watch the breath, breathing in and out, normal breath, not moving or shaping it just yet, just notice. Notice the texture, the quality, and the rhythm. Sometimes the breath feels a little bumpy or rough when we first start to notice. And just like you might if you were working in a science lab, you might file all of your notes now. File them all in the back of your mind. And then forget about them. And when we're finished with our practice, we'll do something similar so that you can notice the changes. Feel how your practice changes your body, your breath, and even the rhythm of your thoughts. So let's begin to expand the breath into an equal ratio breathing pattern now. Breathing in and out to the same amount of time. So if you've been doing this a while, you'll feel your way through it. If you're new to the practice, we'll count silently to ourselves up to the number 4, and then again to the number 4 as you release your breath. Just bringing the inhales and the exhales into an equal pattern. Breathing in and out to the same amount of time. This breathing technique is a little deeper than your normal breath. So we're breathing in, really inviting the breath to come into our body and let the chest rise and your belly expand as you inhale. And then releasing the breath fully, completely, letting everything go with that breath. Slow, smooth, deeper than normal. Just a couple more breaths. Keep your attention there, focusing on what it feels like to breathe. Breathing in, I know I breathe in. Breathing out, I know I breathe out. Now drop the technique. Move back to your natural rhythm. Just the normal breathing for you, whatever that is. Breathe normal. And again, notice the quality, the texture, and the rhythm. Notice if anything feels different. What changed? You might notice your breath is moving a little smoother, a little slower. We ask ourselves what changed, and then what did we do to get that change so we can continue this when we need to. A slower, smoother breath means that your thoughts have also slowed down. Slower, smoother rhythm to the patterns of your thoughts. When you're ready, go ahead and float your eyes open. Take your time. And then let's come to stand. You can take your blankets and props off the mat as you come to stand. You guys, all that breathing made me hot. All right, so we come to the top of the mat if you're not already there. Come into Tadasana, your mountain pose. So that means that the toes are facing the top of the mat, even the baby toe. Feet hip distance, maybe about 4 inches or so. Arms next to your sides. And then just, when you're ready, use your breath. Inhale, lift your arms forward and up toward the ceiling. And then exhale, release the hands down. And let's do that a few more times. Breathing in. Notice what it feels like as you're moving your arms up and down. What do you feel in your shoulders? How does your back feel? Are you pressing your chest forward? If you're doing that, try not to. Try to keep the back, the ribs pulled in as you lift your arms. Belly nice and strong. And then always remember that we're moving our arms with our breath. So all of our yoga postures and our yoga movements are done with breath. We're inhaling to lift, exhaling to lower. Good. So let's try the next 4. And as we go up with our arms, we'll lift our heels off the floor. So pull your core in. Inhale. toes. Exhale, lower the arms, lower your heels. Imagine there's clay or mud or something soft behind you as you lower your heels and they sink into that surface. Slow, steady, smooth movement. Good, last one, we're going to hold this one. Inhale, rise up, arms overhead, navel into spine, heels lifted. Exhale, release. Gorgeous. Now just pause for a moment. Notice what you feel. Maybe you feel a little warmth in your shoulders. Or changed. What did you do to get here? Maybe your breath rate is a little faster. Maybe your heart's beating a little faster. So we're going to begin moving forward now in forward fold. So if you want to watch me first, we'll inhale the arms up. As we exhale, bend your knees, take your seat behind you, and let your arms come all the way down toward the floor. Chest comes right onto your thighs. Inhale, arms reach forward, and we come up. And then we bring the hands down to our sides on the exhale. And then we'll do that again. So when you're ready, inhale. Exhale, fold into that forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms forward and rise up. Exhale, arms to your sides. And again, breathing in. Try to keep your biceps next to your ears. As you fold, the arms can come down to the floor. And then as you reach the arms forward, catch your ears again. And come all the way up. Nice, strong, straight back. Nice job, everybody. This is the last one, and we're going to stay in our forward fold. So we inhale, exhale, fold forward. Stay here. Let the chin tip in toward your chest. Now hold on to your elbows, and let the forearms and elbows drop toward the floor so that your biceps line up with your ears. And your knees will stay bent. And then when you're ready, we'll just sway side to side, gently back and forth. Releasing the spine, stretching out the hips. Come back to middle. Release the elbows. Circle your arms behind you and link your fingers together. So we weave the fingers together. Let your hands rest at your low back. Elbows bending. Squeeze the elbows toward each other across your back. Beautiful. So now the shoulders are in place. And when you're ready, you can safely begin to straighten into your arms, lifting your arms and hands up toward the ceiling. Try not to lock the elbows out. Elbows keep a small bend. Keep hugging them toward each other and lifting up. Shoulders lift away from the ears, chin tipping in toward the chest. 2 more breaths. Release your hands to the floor or to your shins or to your knees, whatever you can reach. Inhale, come about 1/3 or half the way up with a long spine. Chin tips in toward the chest. Exhale, draw your belly up and in toward your spine and fold closer to your legs. 2 more times. Breathe in. Exhale, fold in, folding into yourself. Again, breathing in, long spine. Exhale, fold. Beautiful. From here, please drop your seat. So you're going to bend your knees, drop your seat. Thighs won't be parallel to the floor, but we want to try to get close. All right, draw your belly up and in. Reach your arms forward. Catch your ears. Lift your chest. Come into chair Utkatasana, also known as fierce pose. Exhale, fold forward. Chest comes right back onto the up, tip up. Exhale, fold. Knees are bent, seat is moving back behind you. Inhale, up into chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Last one. Inhale, arms next to the ears, chest rises up toward the ceiling, knees are bent, tailbones moving toward the floor. Press your feet, come all the way to stand up. Exhale your hands to your heart and down next to your sides. Oh. Good. So from here, please close your eyes. Pause in your mountain pose, your Tadasana. What changed? What did you do to get here? I can read your mind. You're thinking, yeah, I don't want to do that one again. So we're getting our heart racing, more energy flow through the body. The breath is a little heavier. So you can slow the breath down. Beautiful. Float your eyes open. Inhale, arms reach up over your head. Exhale, fold forward. And let's step back to downward facing dog. Now lift the seat high. Our hips are lifted high. Thighs are pressing toward the wall behind you. Belly draws up and in. Fingers spread nice and wide. Arms hugging toward each other. Triceps hugged toward your ears. Couple breaths here. Please bend your right knee. Let your left heel sink down towards the floor. Keep your hips lifted high. As you switch sides, notice which leg is tighter. Left knee bends, right heel sinks. Hips are still lifted high. Pedal it out side to side. And then both heels press back and down. Find the posture of your pose. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Nice work, everybody. Let your knees come to the floor in tabletop. Walk your knees together so they touch. Lift your right knee off the floor and extend your right leg right behind you, nice and straight. Curl your toes, press your heel back. And then make sure your hips, if you can feel this, make sure the hips are level. We don't want that right hip hiked up higher than the left hip. We're going to keep them level. Draw your belly up and in. Arms are nice and strong. Squeeze the right hand toward the middle of the mat. Lift the left hand off the floor as you reach those fingertips forward. Press your heel back. Hold and breathe. Make you take your right hand back further so it's under your shoulder. Now try. Gazing at the floor, try to line up your bicep with your ear. Keep pressing the heel back and the fingertips reaching forward. Now we come to half of an X. Take your arm to the left a few inches and your right foot to the right just a few inches. Back to middle and release. Bring your knee back to the floor. And you might want to rotate your right wrist a few times just to work that out. And we have a second side. So second side, knees begin together. Our wrists are right under our shoulders, shoulder width apart. Fingers spread nice and wide. Lift your left knee off the floor. Straighten your leg. Curl your toes. So the toes face the floor. They're curling towards your knees. Knee. Belly draws up and in. Hug the left hand in toward the center of your mat. Lift your right hand off the floor. Fingertips reach forward. Hold and breathe. side. And back to center. Release. And then please take child's pose. Hips to heels, forehead to the floor. And take a few breaths there. Hips sink into the heels. Forehead rests. If your forehead doesn't reach the floor, you can stack your forearms or your fists and let your forehead rest there. Turn your gaze the opposite way. And then back to center. So from here, please bend into your knees so that your feet are lifted toward the ceiling. Activate your toes so the balls of the feet lift toward the ceiling. Knees are hugging toward each other. So we're going to keep them hugging in at waist or hip distance. Please, when you're ready, reach back. See if you can reach that right ankle. Can you reach back for the left ankle? You don't have to. You can always do Vajrasana if you want to. When you're ready, we're going to pull the belly in. Inhale, press the ankles back so the legs press toward the door behind you and lift your chest off the floor. Exhale, down. And let's try again. Knees hug in. Try not to let the knees fly to the sides. Rise up. Exhale, lower. Can you do one more? Breathe in. Move the shins toward the back wall. Lift your knees off the floor. Exhale, come all the way down. Let your legs rest. Let your arms rest. Turn your gaze to look right. And turn your gaze to look left. Good for you. You just opened your heart. Live your day with an open heart today. I heard a phrase yesterday. The deeper your heart breaks, the more love it can hold. That made me feel good about all the times my heart got broke. Okay, everybody, please take your hands under your shoulders. Press back to your knees and find child's pose. Oh, didn't that feel good? Hips to heels, forehead to floor. Maybe fists to hold your forehead if you want to. Let your shoulders relax, bend your elbows, breathe. Nice work. And then hands come under shoulders. Roll your way up and find your way back onto your back. So as you roll down, keep your knees bent. That's what keeps your lower back safe. Knees stay bending. We roll our way down. Take a moment to adjust. And then bring your knees into your chest. Hug the knees down and then rock a little side to side. Come back to center. Take your feet to the floor. As you're ready, cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Lift your left foot away from the floor. Lift your fingers and weave them behind your left thigh. And begin to hug that left knee in toward your left shoulder. Gently guiding the right thigh away from you. Try to keep the hips level. Take a couple breaths. And remember, your body naturally wants to roll to the right to escape this pose. So come back over to the left so your hips are level on the floor. Toes are active. We're pressing through the balls of the feet. Use your breath to guide you here. So when we feel these dull, achy sensations in our body, so many times we lose focus. We think, when is she going to let me out of this pose? Instead of doing that, focus on breathing. Breathe in and move your breath to that space where you feel the dull, achy sensation. I heard Rod Stryker say something like, the mind can't reach where the breath won't go. Right? So breathe in. Your mind can move there as well. The brain can go. As you exhale, each exhale lets go of the tension and stress you're holding in the body and in our mind too. Go ahead and release both feet to the floor. Pause, notice and feel what you feel like. What does one side feel like compared to the other side? Longer, yes. And then move into the second side. So left ankle over the right thigh, linking the fingers behind the right thigh. Begin to draw your knee in as you press the left thigh away from you, keeping yourself level on your hips. Toes are active, so we're pressing through the balls of the feet. Breathing in, feel your belly rise. Breathing out, notice your belly fall. Nice work, everybody. Exhale, both feet to the floor. Pause and feel. Hopefully you're equal length now. Now please bring your knees into your chest again. And then take your arms to the side in a T so the palms face the ceiling. Your hands should be parallel to your shoulders, or on the same level as the shoulders, same height. On your exhale, please take both knees to the right, all the way to the floor. Tuck your knees right up under your right armpit. Knees come to the floor, feet come to the floor. Your left shoulder may come off the floor. That's okay. Take a couple breaths. As you exhale, pull the belly in and begin to rotate the ribs and the chest and the shoulders open to the ceiling so that your left shoulder gets closer to the floor. And then maybe look over your left shoulder to increase your twist. Twists are really good for our body because they help us to increase digestion. We're squeezing those internal organs, releasing toxins. Please always drink a lot of water after your yoga class because it is really like getting a massage. We're massaging from the inside out and we want to cleanse, so big glass of water when you're finished. These twists also help keep our spine soft and supple so that we don't pull those muscles when we're moving through our day. On your next inhale, use your tummy, squeeze the core muscles, lift your knees up to center, pause, feel and notice. And then on your exhale, knees go to the left, all the way under the left armpit. As you exhale, pull the navel in, Rotate the ribs, chest, and shoulders open so that right shoulder can get closer to the floor. And maybe look right. If your shoulder is more than 6 inches off the floor and your arm is hanging out, not touching the floor, go ahead and take your hand to your hip and let the shoulders open on their own with just the weight of the shoulder. Turn your gaze back to the ceiling. Inhale, lift your knees. Beautiful. Knees come into the chest again. Take your hands to your knees. Pull the knees in. On your inhale, straighten the arms. Let the knees move away from you so your belly has room to rise. Exhale, pull the knees in. Inhale, float them away. Again, a couple more times. A little Apanasana, forward folding movement, helping to calm our minds. Then come back to center with your hands on top of your knees. Push your knees away from you, open them wide, and then draw them to the outer ribs and back to the middle of your chest. And do that again a few more times. And then reverse those movements, go opposite direction. Pull the knees in, take them to the outer ribs toward the floor, and press them out and back to center. And back up to middle. Little tiny circles now. Both the knees move the same direction. Little tiny circles, massaging those muscles that support the lowest part of your back, the sacrum. Reverse your circles. And one more time, come back to center. Squeeze your knees into your chest. And then stretch your legs out for your last pose today, Shavasana. So we're going to be resting here in Shavasana for a good 5 to 8 minutes. So if you feel like you may get cold, you might grab a jacket, grab your socks, grab a blanket, and then just lie back onto your back. Shavasana, also called corpse pose, where we finish our practice. The English word for Shavasana is corpse pose. Isn't that funny? Yeah, corpse pose. We practice laying like the dead, but really it's very symbolic because it is a release and a surrender. So we are surrendering all the movement now. Surrendering all that we've been doing. Surrendering and letting go. So as you stretch out on the floor, let your feet rest just a little bit wider than hip distance. And then relax the toes outward. Move your arms so they're away from your body, maybe a foot or 18 inches. The floor might be cold. Turn the palms of your hands to face the ceiling, and that opens the shoulder joint. And that helps open the heart and the chest and the collarbones. We worked hard to open that space today, so we want to keep it open as we rest here. So settle in. Feel your body as it rests on the floor, on the earth. Feel the support of the earth coming up to hold you and support you as you surrender into it. Allow your heels to get heavier. Melt your hips down. relax your shoulders. Allow the space between your collarbones to get wider as it opens wider. And then soften and relax your throat. Let all the muscles of the neck relax. Unclench your teeth and relax your jaw. Soften your nose. Relax all the muscles of your face. Let your eyes get heavy as they soften behind the lids. Outer edges releasing. Notice the space right between the eyebrows and let that space grow wider. And relax all the wrinkles of your forehead. With your whole body soft and resting, allow your attention now to move to your breath. Just observe. There's nothing to do. Nothing to do but watch the breath. Watch your body breathe. Notice how your belly rises on your inhale and falls on the exhale. Our minds are naturally going to drift away from this moment. That's normal. When that happens, notice that it happened and gently guide your attention to come back to the breath. Feel your body breathe. Breathing in, I know I breathe in because that's where I choose to focus my attention. Breathing out, I know I breathe out. Rest here. Relax and enjoy Shavasana. Begin to allow your breath to deepen. As you breathe into your entire body, feel your breath move out the limbs to fingers and toes. And then move them slowly so that you bring movement back to your body little bit by little bit. As you're ready, draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice tight squeeze. Rock a little side to side, massaging the muscles supporting your back. And then roll to a side. As you roll to your side, take your resting arm over your head so that you can rest your arm on your head. Tuck your knees close to your chest. Take a moment to adjust. This is a new position. As you breathe in, fill your upper back with space, letting that breath move the shoulder blades apart. And now scan your body, just like you did when we started class, and notice how you feel. Remember how you felt just an hour ago. Notice the changes. Notice what your yoga practice has done to your body. How you have created more space. More space in the body, more space between your breaths, and more space between your thoughts. When you're ready, press your hands into the floor and come up from your side. Have a seat one more time, facing forward. You sit cross-legged, joining your hands together in Anjali Mudra. You take a tall seat, crown of the head lifts up toward the ceiling, relax your shoulders down. Take a nice deep breath. Breathe in and fill your body with breath. Great big exhale, sigh. Let go of any tension or stress you might still hold. Thank you for being here today to allow me to guide you through your practice. Always remember that your presence matters to everyone around you all day long. So always be present. I honor the light that is in each of you. Namaste.